So the temperatures are getting cold. What better to make than a lovely English beef stew recipe that will warm your soul? And who better to talk us through it than Jess herself? In fact, now I'm going to be talking both of you, the audience, and Jess, through how to make this beef stew, because she's never made it before.
Because apparently Jess doesn't know how to cook.
Right, let's get straight into it. So we've got here 500 grams of beef. Now you want your beef to be as marbled as you can get it. If you can get braised steak and chop it up yourself, that is ideal. You can get nice big chunks, but we just bought the diced beef from the supermarket. Eh? Yeah, that's the best we could get. What you want to do is add your seasoning to your beef.
I'm listening.
Start with all-purpose seasoning. You want 1 teaspoon in there.
Teaspoon.
Boop. Nice. Then you want a teaspoon of curry powder in.
Boop. Teaspoon.
Then you want a teaspoon of smoked paprika. The smoking is essential. It has a nice bit of smokiness. Shock horror.
Ooh. Gabriel, how much did you pay for this smoked paprika?
We paid quite a bit for that.
Yeah, I can smell it. It's sweet.
Look at that. Sainsbury's. Then we want about 1 teaspoon of mixed herbs in there as well. Now, this is not the traditional way that beef stew is normally made. This is the Gabe way. This is the enhanced way. This is better, I promise. Okay, we've fused it with the way we do things in West Africa.
Have you made this before?
Yeah, of course I've made it before.
Don't say a teaspoon.
And then you want half a teaspoon of that. So just do half of what you got in your hand there. We don't want it too spicy. Normally we'd use like Scotch bonnet or something, but yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Cool. You want to drizzle that in, so about a teaspoon, but yeah, give it a drizzle. There you go. That's enough. You want a tablespoon of flour in there. It helps develop such a lovely crust.
Can I use the same spoon?
Of course not. Of course not.
Oh, you said a tablespoon.
Yeah. And you don't want to put seasoning in if you're using sugar, flour, make sure the spoons that go in there are clean. You don't want to spice and then put spices in there because we're going to use that for other stuff that are not savory. Yep.
Boop.
Nice. Now we're just going to give that a stir.
Smells like the Lay's crisps.
Look at this. Look at the state of that. Oh, yeah.
This is Jess's mixing because Jess's
So now you want to get in there about 1 tablespoon of oil, maybe 2 actually.
Wow, Gabriel, what a bad sous chef.
So guys, you need a really thick Dutch oven, okay? Or a stock saucepan, something about medium size, something that's going to retain the heat and give you a nice crust. And something that can go in the oven, because this recipe, you can put it in the oven and just forget about it. That's smoking hot. That's like 220 degrees C. We just measured it. You want to, put your beef in.
Sizzle.
Now, you don't want to overcrowd the pan because we don't want to steam this. We want to make sure it has a nice crust. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just put all this in.
So now make sure you flip those. And don't let it burn. You can see the crust. Let me show you guys.
For God's sake, Gabriel, this thing is broken. We need to get a new one.
A bit there, Jess. You don't need a paper towel.
Why not?
Because the juices that leak from there are going to go back in the stew. You don't want to absorb it or throw it away. So before you do what you're about to do, that obviously needs more oil. So just grab some oil and make sure you get a nice layer at the bottom. And that's going to cool down the pan as well. It's getting a bit cold, bit more. Okay, so now that we've got enough oil in there, you can put the rest of that in there. You switch to a spatula. Make sure you do a nice scraping action. There you go. Don't worry, everything that's sticking to the bottom of the pan, that's all flavor. So that hasn't gone exactly as I wanted it to go. I mean, most of the seasoning and the flour has come off of the meat and is now stuck to the pan, which is fine. But it just means that our meat didn't get a nice crust that we wanted it to get. But oh well. I hope yours at home does get a nice crust. So you're going to take that off, put it to the side.
You mean that Jess screwed up?
We want to get our onions in as quickly as we can before it burns. Onions in. Nice. Now we're starting to cook. Now give that a good scrape. Guys, at home, if you have a normal Dutch oven that is non-stick, do not use a metal utensil. It is a bad idea. So this is where you develop flavor. Turn your heat all the way down and let's start adding our flavors in there. So we'll start with our good old chicken stock powder. You want a teaspoon in there. Starting to catch. Guys, at home, if you're taking your time, your onions are not going to wait for you. It's just going to burn.
How much?
Smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of your all-purpose seasoning. It's basically the same thing we use for the beef, but now it's going in here. 1 teaspoon of curry powder in there. 1 teaspoon of mixed herbs in there. That's black pepper. Yeah. And then half a teaspoon of black pepper. Literally identical to before.
So what do
Now you want to add your sugar. You need 1 teaspoon of sugar in there. And then you need 1 tablespoon of vinegar. I put apple cider vinegar. You can slow down. Go on, in there. Now you want to add your ginger and your garlic. You want 1 tablespoon of garlic, sorry. 1 tablespoon of garlic. 1 tablespoon. Okay, fine. Do 2 teaspoons. But yeah, 1 tablespoon of garlic, guys. 1 teaspoon of ginger. Give that a good old stir. Right, take this off the heat. Cool. So now we can calm down. We can relax, okay? Right. This still retains some heat, so we still need to be a bit quick. So next we're gonna add, usually you'd add Worcestershire sauce, but we've only got soy sauce.
I've got it.
So you want 1 teaspoon of soy sauce in there. Half a tablespoon of tomato puree.
Yeah.
Stir. Put that back on the heat. At this point, you want to start boiling your kettle. So we're going to use it to make the stock. You want to grab your wine. You want 240 milliliters of red wine. You can use Pinot Noir, you can use Merlot, you can use Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, these are excellent choices.
It's about 10 ml left.
All right, that's way less than 10 ml. But no, you carry on. You carry on. Stop.
There we go.
All right, pour your wine in there. Beautiful. That's going to tenderize the meat. And it's going to add such a nice richness. You cannot skip this. I mean, you can skip it. You could just skip
But you could
stock.
use alcohol-free wine, right?
No, you can't. As long as the wine you use is dry, it doesn't matter. Make sure it's cheap. Now here's the trick. When you're adding your flour, sometimes it gets all clumpy. So my advice would be put your flour in here. So we've got two tablespoons
Flour?
of plain flour, yeah.
Oh, is this to thicken?
Come on, 2 tablespoons of flour in there. Get your flour in there. 2 tablespoons, and then you want to add cold water till you make a nice slurry. That's a top tip to avoid lumps in your stew. So now you want to add 240 mils of hot water to that. That's where we're going to put our stock as well. So just doing it all in one saves you washing up and all that stuff. You want to add your stock cube to that. I'm going to keep an eye on this. You ever seen someone look so depressed when they're cooking? What's the matter, Jess?
I feel like I'm following Gordon Ramsay's bloody... You know when he does that thing on MasterChef and he's going, you gotta, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for. I'm telling you what
No,
to
and
do.
it's been a long day at work, you know, guys. The last thing you want is people just barking orders.
It's going to thicken straight away, so be quick. And then get 240 ml of water as well.
But I just put 200.
I know, anywhere from 45 minutes to 2.5 hours, depending on the size of your cuts. Ours is only going to take about an hour to soften nicely. But yeah, we haven't forgotten about the vegetables. They will come in when the beef is basically ready. So cool, yep. Cover and simmer. In case you're wondering, we got this very cheap from Sainsbury's. It is a product of Argentina, Malbec. And it's cheap, it was like £6. So while it cooks, prep your vegetables. You want 2 large carrots and you want about 300 grams of potato. Potato you use, doesn't matter. Ideally you want red potato. We've got King Edward's. Now chop it into nice angular shapes. Something about them just makes it taste better. You want them to be all medium sized, about 1 inch. One last thing, you want to add bay leaf. That's a traditional, 1 large bay leaf, or I guess 2 small ones in there.
Oh,
Been about,
that's hot.
Careful, it drips. It's been about an hour. Tested the beef, it is just right. It's got about half an hour before it becomes a bit too much. So what we're gonna do now is add our vegetables. So remember, this is two large carrots. Look at the mess. Mess! Shoes on the other foot. Mess!
Miss. Just cleans up after herself. Thank you very much.
We're gonna stir that, add a bit of water, and cook it for about 30 minutes. It's worth mentioning, while that was cooking, I periodically topped it up with water. So you want to make sure you get too much water.
Well, it will evaporate off anyway.
Yeah, in 30 minutes.
I was hoping you'd stop me.
Right, so because she's added too much water, we're gonna have to leave the lid a little bit so the water can dry off. Because the problem is, if it cooks too long, our vegetables are gonna start falling apart, especially the carrots. So leave it. If you put too much water, leave it open so the water can come off quicker. You know, the Dutch oven tends to keep the steam in. So it's been about 30 minutes. It's ready to go. Everything is cooked. Now here's a tip. So grab yourself some chicken salt. You want to do a sprinkle of chicken salt just over the top. Okay, double that. There we go. And then grab yourself some honey. There's method to this madness, guys. Don't worry.
Can't reach the honey.
And then drizzle. You don't have to measure. Just drizzle some honey all over it. That's it. Stir.
Yep.
And finally, you want to garnish with some parsley or coriander. Just a light garnish on the top. Yeah, and that's going to make a great picture of that. And then obviously you get some crusty bread and enjoy your stew. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. And leave a comment on how Jess did following those instructions. I thought she was being a bit flustered in the kitchen. I don't know. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. If you agree, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, thanks guys for watching. And yeah, if you followed along, let us know how it went for you as well. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.